Hi everyone, it's Renee here and welcome to another Tuesday night or Wednesday morning where I'm going to talk about a particular topic all around how to create a positive relationship with food. So if that is you are in the right place. And this month I'm answering some very common questions that people ask me when they hear that I work in the anti-diet space. So today's question is a really interesting one. So for all of those people who are quite fit and identify themselves as a fit and healthy person and are worried about how they can continue that kind of lifestyle, but they don't really want to keep this rigid dieting or obsessing about food, then today's episode is for you. So let's dive in. The question is, if I stop dieting, I'm worried I won't care about what I eat. I'm scared I'll lose my fit identity. Can you still be a healthy and fit person but not care about what you are eating? Now, this is a really great question, and I love getting ones from people that clearly have a passion about their health. This is why they are asking this question. There's someone that often cares deeply about what they eat. They take exercise very seriously, but they realize that they don't want to keep this continued life of obsessing about food all the time. So I hear you. I understand it can be very scary to think that there could be an alternate to the way that you're currently living, eating, and training, but still be healthy. So let's dive right in. First of all, I want to pull apart the word care. Okay, so a lot of the question comes about that there's this perception that suddenly if you let go of restricted eating, dieting, counting calories, counting macros, or figuring out whether today is a cheat meal day or not, that suddenly you're not going to care about what you eat. That the opposite is going to be true for you. You're going to be an unhealthy person if you do anything opposite than that. Okay, and that's where a lot of this comes from. A lot of this fear, a lot of this concern and worry. Can I tell you now that the opposite is true? You're not going to suddenly not care about your health and about what you're eating and about what you're doing for exercise. In fact, I would argue you're probably going to care a lot more. And let me explain why. We have been led down this path where we think that dieting and this restricted way of eating is synonymous with health. But when you suddenly take that away and when you start to take the rules and programs and the restrictions and all these other imposed ways of eating that are external, right, where people are telling us what to eat, when to eat, how much, all of these different structures, when you take that away, all that you are left with is you, your body, yourself, nothing else. And you are the expert of your own body. Let me make this point really clear here. Your body has one sole purpose, and that is to keep you alive, and it can only do that if it keeps you healthy, if it keeps you in this state of balance. This is why we cannot try to impose and control all these things, because our body is the expert here, right? And this is when you start to place all these external things on top of what your body is trying to do and trying to tell you, that things get out of balance. It starts to affect your sleep. You start to get worried and obsess about things. You overeat on those days when you haven't eaten enough food and you wonder why. Right, these are just a few examples here. But when you take away this kind of dieting behavior, even for people that are so into their health that it becomes part of their identity, when you start taking away those rules and restrictions and just truly listen to what your body is saying to you, you care even more about what you eat. Because now the decisions and the choices that you make about what you eat when you exercise, how you exercise, is all coming from a place of kindness and compassion for this body that is now communicating with you and that you can now hear and listen, right? It's not coming from this pursuit of I've just got to get to the gym even though I'm tired, or I have got to stop myself from eating even though I'm still hungry because I can only eat these amount of foods, or I'm really craving that cookie but I can't have it because it's not my cheat day. Enough of that, right? You're going to start to actually have some kindness and compassion for yourself. You're going to respect yourself and you're going to honor what your body is telling you. And I know that some of you are probably thinking, okay, that's going to happen, but I'm just going to be that person that's going to eat all of this junk food. The only reason why I'm not eating all of this junk food is because I'm on this diet, or because I'm restricting, or because I care about my health. Do you know that doesn't actually happen? It doesn't. There may be, and I'm going to make this very clear for those that are thinking, okay, maybe this might be the way I want to go. I'm going to make it very clear here that if you have been restricting yourself and you have been telling yourself for such even a short or a long period of time that you can't have certain foods and you have to only eat a certain way and you can only eat certain amounts, when you let that go, there is probably going to be a slingshot effect where for a period of time you're suddenly going to go, well, I can eat all these foods, and maybe you do go out and eat all this stuff. But it's going to be such a short amount of time because all of a sudden your brain is going to catch up and go, oh, I can actually have this food anytime I like. So if I can have it anytime I like, I don't need to overeat it. And then you just carry on with the rest of your day, the rest of your exercise, or whatever it is that you're doing. Because when you mentally start to restrict yourself and you tell yourself that you can't have that, you want it even more. And there's actual studies that back this up, right? It's human behavior. It's natural physiology, right? So yeah, there might be a period of time where maybe you overeat and maybe you want to crave and eat all the cookies that you can eat, but you're going to stop and you're going to come back. That's just how it works. Okay, so when we look at this care factor around caring about what you eat, of course you are going to care about what you eat. Okay, and I would argue even more now because you're now going to be listening to your body when it says it's hungry, and you're going to honor that. You're not going to try and fight through. Your cravings, you're going to be able to honor that and not have guilt or shame or overanalyze it because your body needs it and you're going to honor that. You're going to care about it even more, right? That's the kind of stuff that starts to happen. And here's the other really cool thing. For those of you that are quite fit and you enjoy your workouts and perhaps you're even athletes, here's the other really cool thing. When you start to tap into your body and listen to it, that makes you even more efficient during your workouts. It makes you a better athlete because guess what? You're suddenly starting to work so much better with your body because you can communicate with it better. You can understand it, right? You're not fighting or seeing yourself as two separate entities here. You're one and the same. Okay, so that's another really cool way that when you start to let go of all these external voices in telling you how to run your own body and just let your body tell you what it wants, that you can become and maintain, in fact, even be a more healthy and active person. And just a final note on that, with the perception that this healthy and fit, so can I still be a healthy and fit person if I'm no longer dieting? I just really want to reiterate here that dieting does not equal health. That restricted eating does not equal health. By having a cheat meal once a week does not equal health. By smashing yourself in the gym 5 days a week and telling yourself how disciplined you are because you didn't eat any workplace function foods or anything like that does not make you healthy. right? Mental health and your emotional health is just as important as your physical health. And if you are beating yourself up and berating yourself and feeling guilty and frustrated and obsessing and anxious about your food, then there is a problem, and you need to look at ways that you can try and correct that. Okay? It's really important that you start to listen to what your body is telling you. And there is a way to do it. Okay? So, just as a summary, yes, you can be a healthy and fit person, maintain that fit identity, but let go of all that restricted eating and dieting. Absolutely possible. And in fact, I would argue that you are going to be even fitter, even more attuned to what you can do as an athlete, as someone who takes pride in their activities, who likes to go to the gym, who likes to go for a run, who likes to play competitive sport, because you're going to be listening to your body. That, my friends, is going to be your secret weapon. Okay? So, I hope that has helped you. And until next time, I look forward to answering more of your questions. Same time next week. Okay, bye.